Safeguard your eyes smartly and easily with an eye care monitor and Eye Care U software. Working on a paper? Turn on low blue light mode. Is the sun too bright? Let brightness intelligence do its work. Now better. Writing code gets your eyes tired? Try coding mode. Forget the time. Light reminder lets you know. Totally immersed in the movie? Minimize software won't distract you. Break reminder and force break help manage your screen time. When it's almost time, a countdown starts. Force break activates to rest your eyes. Eye Care U. Safeguard your eyes. Safeguard your eyes smartly and easily with an Eye Care monitor and Eye Care U software. Working on a paper? Turn on low blue light mode. Is the sun too bright? Let brightness intelligence do its work. Now better. Writing code gets your eyes tired? Try coding mode. Forget the time. Light reminder lets you know. Totally immersed in the movie? Minimize software won't distract you. Break reminder and force break help manage your screen time. When it's almost time, a countdown starts. Force break activates to rest your eyes. Eye Care U. Safeguard your eyes.
Hello everyone, welcome to AMX Global. But firstly, before we get the racing action underway, our thoughts and prayers are to those affected in the Emilia-Romagna region at both Imola and Faenza with significant rainfall. People's livelihoods have been changed for future weeks and months and years to come. So our thoughts and prayers are to everyone that is out there in Emilia-Romagna at this moment. Formula One has had the Imola Grand Prix cancelled, but we here will continue racing in their honour. My name's Alex, and I'm joined by my good comrade in arms, Marco. Marco, good morning. It is real sad news to hear coming out of Emilia-Romagna at Faenza and Imola, but for us here, the show goes on because we're on race day 24 of the season, and we've got a double bill of single-seater action in prospect.
Yes, Alex, so let's have some racing escapism virtually of the highest order here on AMX Global. So we'll start with the USF2000, of course, racing at the Nurburgring, and then we will have the little Formula V's running around Hockenheim. They had a fantastic race on Monday here on AMX with that cars on that track. So we are staying here in Germany for both races, two tracks that are quite close to each other, geographically wise, but they will provide some kind of different racing, of course. We're going from a faster open-wheeler, still junior one, to like the basics of basics with the beautiful, exciting, small but fun Formula V.
Yep, free tier, we're over the halfway mark, so we're on race 24 out of 45. We are going to tell you about a little bit of a double bubble situation that we've got here with regards to the free tier reference prize money, because that has been doubled here on AMX Global to give a little bit more of an incentive to those wishing to compete. So 45 days, 45 races. We've also got paid tier 1 and paid tier 2. We've got tier 1 coming up a little bit later on for the Formula V's at the Hockenheimring short B section. But as you can see, it's Monday, Tuesday, Thursday and Saturdays that free tier carries on all the way through right up until the end of beta season 2. We're racing on a variety of tracks and with a variety of different cars powered by internal combustion engines. Don't forget, you can head to amxrace.com for further information. And if you are on iRacing, no matter your skill level, we want to hear from you. We want you to jump on board. The Nurburgring is a famous circuit, but look, there we go, a two times free tier prize boost promotion running right through the rest of the month of May. And it's going to be a $60 US prize pool. So $14 for a victory, $10 for second, and so on and so forth. That's running all the way through until May 30th here on AMX Global Beta Season 2. And we've got more racing coming up. We've got day 25 in a couple of days' time. And then on May 20th, May 22nd, May 23rd will take us up to day 27. And then the 30th of May, well, of course, being the month of May, the Indianapolis 500 takes place this week. Well, this month as such, one of the big events on the global motorsport calendar, along with the Monaco Grand Prix. On June 8th, we'll see us hit day number 35 of this 45-day season here on AMX Beta Season 2. So, as again, hit us up on socials on amxrace.com. And this is the current total standings, and Caio Gaspar has $1,162 to his credit, averaging $31 per race, win rate of 24. So out of 37 races, he's won 9. Victor Miranda, Gael Valero both secured 10 wins apiece, but it's gone to Inez, who's in 7th at the moment, has secured the most wins at the moment with 11 out of 17. 65% strike rate. Gael Valero, 10 out of 15 he's won so far. 67% has been his strike rate so far, and out of the top 10 he's got the highest average earnings per race of $45 US. Looking at the usual suspects, Gaston Pulhavi, Jackson Resenge, the ever charismatic Fabio Zampolini is he's 6th ahead of Quentin Guinness, Josh Berwin, Diego Villarreal, the non-qualified specialist, Laui Santi rounding out the top 10. So, as this is the 2 times multiplier, it's 14 for a win. Fastest lap gets 5 points, and it goes all the way down to 10th position where it's 2 points. If you finish under 80% of the winner's total race time, you are declared as an official DNF. That means you get no points. So unfortunately, no bueno. Good to see our usual friend Girl Made Car Memes. She's been interacting with us on the chat, so good to have you with us. Yeah, it is very, very tragic what's been happening. You can see here the standings for free tier. Kaya Gaspar, who's not in the server at the moment, appearance, but Victor Miranda not in here. Corentin Guignez, they ran at the top 3, covered by $10 US. Gaston Coolharvey, Gael Valero could be moving up the order a little bit, depending on what happens here. Josh Perwin, Diego Villarreal, Octavio Rondaletto, Fabio Zampolini, and Jackson Lesenge round out the top 10, covered by that is $58 US from 1st to 10th. So the circuit itself is the Sprintstrecke. It's part of the GP circuit, which was constructed on the former site of the pit complex of the Nordschleife and the Südschleife. The Nordschleife measures over 26 kilometers. This one measures just 3.57 kilometers. So they will go through Yokohama into the Mercedes complex. The track is slightly shortened. There's no run down to Dunlop that you would normally traditionally see. Michael Schumacher S's will also be shortcutted. 620 meters above sea level, 48 degrees track temperature, and it's one of an iconic set of circuits. Multiple configurations here at the Nurburgring, and seeing the DTM launch, the what is now known as the Fanatec GT World Challenge, Sprint and Endurance. The World Endurance Championship is raced here. And also this weekend, 24 hours of the Nurburgring Nordschleife takes place in real life. A bumper car grid north of normally 120 vehicles will be going into battle over twice around the clock. Then there's also the car that is we're going to also see one of the particular car that these drivers will be using very, very shortly, which is the USF2000, one of the ladders on the road to Indy. So previously would have seen the likes of quite a few drivers that have competed in that. So you can see the full 3.57 kilometer circuit. There is Dunlop, and then of course the banner which has the legendary name Michael Schumacher on there. That is the correct pronunciation. You should know, being an 8th German. There is the USF2000 car in all its glory. That is the number 33 of Gael Valero. That is the car that is going to be used today. We have Valero deciding he was thinking about it there, Marco, whether he was going to come out of the pit lane or not.
Yes, by the way, good mentioning of the Nürburgring 24 hours, because if there is a silver lining to all this situation, is that certainly there will be something to watch and keep us busy as race fans, of course, in the absence of the Grand Prix, and that will be the 24 hours of the Nordschleife. And it's basically in most countries, and I assume in every country, is going to be available for free via YouTube. So certainly, it's always a great experience. I think my good friend Peter Mackay will be on the commentary for some bits of it. So yes, always a nice experience, especially I love these long endurance races, especially the one in Nordschleife, to lull myself into sleep when it's time to go to bed at night, keeping it in one ear, and all these long onboards. In the Nordschleife 24 hour, they have this stuff of nightmare though, the blue light for the lap cars that keeps on flashing constantly, and during the night they only show the onboards, no? So it's at some point it becomes like almost quite an obsession, having this light going on and off constantly in the LED panel on the top right of the screen. But still a fantastic experience, especially because it's such an old school vibe to the race. The fact that they close sectors for crashes and barrier repairs, and the drivers are so respectful. They slow down, then they continue. It's all done without interruption, basically, because safety cars are certainly not a viable solution during the 24-hour race at the Nordschleife.
These particular cars running on the Tatus chassis, very well known in Italian motor racing, especially with the likes of Italian Formula 4. Also, Tatus created the chassis that was used by W Series, and I think is also doing the chassis for the new F1 Academy. These particular cars, 2-litre inline 4-cylinder Mazda engine, part of the USF2000 Championship, presented by Cooper Tyres. It is the first rung on the road to Indy, and these cars produce around about 175 brake horsepower. Will probably hit speeds, and there is Gael Valero, as we actually now have an opportunity for you to see the drivers for the very first time, and very, very calm looking is Mr. Gael Valero, based in the same time zone as Marco. So for those watching, buongiorno, bonjour, guten Morgen. I'll get that all out of the way now. So the local time here in the United Kingdom is coming up to 10:30 in the morning. Marco, it's 11:30 morning. So we are both well caffeinated to bring everything to you. But again, we see that Diego Villarreal is doing his same old trick here, Marco. He has kept it in kept it in the pit lane for qualifying, hasn't he?
Yes, and funnily enough, we are doing basically a exact reverse of what we had on Monday. On Monday we started with the Formula Bs at Hockenheim Short B, and then we went to the Nurburgring, the same configuration, the GP Sprint version of the track with his USF2000s. And in both races, Gael Valero was the winner. Now, he was he wasn't the winner. What am I saying? He was certainly one of the protagonists. He looked like he was the faster car in the Formula V race, but then Formula V happened, and so madness and chaos, and he had to settle for a podium finish. But then he came back strong and dominated this race here with the USF2000s. So today we do the opposite. So this was the calmer race on Monday, and of course Valero was quite dominant. But then in the Formula V's it was a different beast, of course, different nature of cars. Even though they are both formulas, they are completely different philosophies. But yes, our friend from Uruguay, Villarreal, is sitting comfortably in the pits, enjoying the hospitality. And of course, for the longest time, the Nurburgring Jeep track was host of the Sim Racing Expo at the end of the racing season. It was together with the last round of the what then was the Blancpain GT championship, and now they moved it somewhere else, of course, in Nuremberg last year, in late November or early December, I think. It was not a smart decision. In fact, I didn't go, of course. But yeah, now Jackson Kassenji against second fastest lap. I'm seeing, by the way, I was formerly employed by Apex, not by the racing team, of course, because I don't have absolutely any capabilities behind the steering wheel, but as a commentator, and they just announced that they have become the official sim racing team for Mercedes AMG, so congratulations to them. Last Monday they didn't have a livery for this car, because they don't use it, of course, in competition, but between Monday and Thursday, they're very good painters, have been hard at work. And so Gael Valero can show off the beautiful Apex colors on his car. Hopefully it will be the same for the Formula V, because also he didn't have a livery on Monday, and I really want to see an Apex Racing Team livery on a Formula V. That would be one of the most curious combinations that I can remember in sim racing.
Yeah, Galmaid Carmeans just said the best comment of the morning. Villarreal is always in the pit lane hospitality. Yeah, he's just sipping on a cold beverage right about now, just to keep the core temperature down. But Senjay's gone quickest out of the two so far in the second sector. Valero was a little bit sideways through the final sector, but still on his previous lap. But Yeah, 1 minute 28.930 for Gael Valero. Jackson Resenje running on a 129.69. Valero, a middle sector that wasn't an improvement, but I think he's just backing off because he'll get one more push lap. Resenje's making his way about halfway through sector number 1. So this will be a 12-lap race, and the winner will get $14 US thanks to the 2 times multiplier here in the free tier. Valero on that lap does not improve. Resenje does put in a personal best in the opening sector. So coming to the last minute and 20 of this qualification session here at the Nurburgring. Oh, Resenje's just had an off-track. Track map in the top right-hand corner of your screens, folks. Resenje there, Marco, coming through out of the top part of the circuit and heading into the fastest corner on the track, Advan, which is taken at about north of 200 kilometers an hour at 5th gear. He's flat to the floor, is Resenje, heading into the NGK chicane. He had a little bit of a wobble, didn't he, coming through the shortcut part on this circuit?
Yes, and the second sector was pedestrian, probably also because of that. Now, I think he got away with the off-track, because usually when racing drivers get the off-track, their lap is invalidated, they just lift and forget about it. But Resenje is trying for it, and he will have one more lap, by the way. Let's see if this one counts for something. The answer is no, you were correct. So he wasn't able to escape the off-track, but he will have one more lap, as Gael Valero is improving. Oh no, there we go, and that will be pole position, I'm afraid, to the Frenchman, who's also looking to improve his lap time. So but he's beyond any doubt, because Resenje has stowed back to the pits. There is 10 seconds left, and so it will be, Valero, he spins as well for sympathy. So yes, exciting end to qualifying, but it will be Gael Valero with the pole.
Yeah. Once again, the Apex Racing Team driver who was our Beta Season 1 champion, taking nearly $700 into his back pocket. And that's the opportunity you folks have got here. If you are on iRacing, if you are a driver, it doesn't matter a damn what your skill level is. We want you to join the fun. So there is the qualifying results for free tier race 24 in the USF2000 cars at the Nurburgring Sprintstrecke. Gael Valero putting in a 1 minute 28.930. Jackson Resenje from Canaan Esports Brazil, of course, his boss, Sonny Canaan, will be participating in his last ever Indianapolis 500 this month at Brickyard. And it's going to be a real shame after what has been a fantastic career for the Brazilian, who's fast approaching the age of 50. He still competes in Stock Car Brazil, along with the likes of Rubens and Eduardo Barrichello, who are now teammates. That is father and son, for those wondering. And Diego Villarreal, the Uruguayan from Sudamerica Racing Team, will start behind Valero, as we're just waiting for Valero just to grid up. So Mr. Villarreal has gone matte black, or probably full carbon look on that livery for this particular occasion. So we're just waiting for Gael to grid up. Once he does, then we will have a standing start here at the Sprintstrecke, 12 laps. So probably the best part of about 40 kilometers of racing set to get underway. So we are going to be rather patient, wait for Gael to join the race server. And after this, we'll have a little bit of a breather before we go to the Hockenheimring short B variation. A lot smaller than the 4.574 kilometer circuit that is normally in full operation and is the home of, has been on multiple occasions, the home of the German Grand Prix. And that was after the fact that that track was a lot longer than that. But Valero is on his grid position. And the revs start to build ahead of 12 laps of racing here for race 23. Green flag waves, a lot of wheel spin off the line from Diego Villarreal, but Jackson Resenje trying to get the launch ahead of Valero, who leads the field into what was known as the Hockenheimring, now known as Yokohama. Down the dip, through the right-hander they go. And Resenje already is about half a second behind, but Villarreal didn't get a good start off the line there, Marco. A lot of wheel spin for the back of the 22.
Exactly, and I think that was going to be the biggest chance for both of these drivers to go and attack Gael Valero at especially in this very first lap, because of course now the Frenchman can stretch his legs and now take the sharp right. This they will do also on Saturday for the 24-hour race. They will shortcut the majority of the track. They will not shortcut the Mercedes Arena, which we are not, because right now the Mercedes Arena in real life is supported by Hockenheimring goes very wide. Thankfully for him, Villarreal wasn't anywhere near to pounce on the mistake, but already at the end of the first lap, Gael Valero will have more than 2 seconds of advantage, and cold tires there for the Brazilian almost cost him much more than what it ended up costing him. Oh, a mistake again!
Oh, that's an off track. That could be a slowdown penalty. That could allow Villarreal to close up very, very shortly if the iRacing server does do that. And yeah, that gap is slow. He's got to slow down, and Villarreal's going to the outside, but then Resenje picks up speed once again, having served said slow down. And I think Resenje was very, very lucky to get away with that one, but he's lost a lot of time to Gael Valero. Let's not forget, folks, on the start phase, Resenje was anywhere between 3 to 5 tenths of a second behind Valero. That gap has now ballooned to get this 5.5 seconds as we head into lap number 2.
So our cameras were following the Brazilian driver Hockenheimring there, but I think that also Villarreal cut the chicane or had a problem there, because I heard some not very good sounding sounds coming from our cameras around the racetrack, like somebody went over the big sausage curbs as well there, and that was probably Villarreal, because we were looking at his engine, he was like busy with other problems. So, and again the Brazilian goes very, very deep. This beautiful, I love this portion of the racetrack, this beautiful downhill run. Of course, looking on the left side of your screen is the bigger track, and of course Saturday they will, after doing the faster chicane, if I'm not mistaken, not this one, they will, instead of turning right, they will turn left and go for a little bit of a detour, you know, of 22 something kilometers.
Yeah, they'll turn left and go into the first part of the complex known as Hudson-Bach. The combined Nordschleife circuit has around 170 corners, as we still keep our eyes on Mr. Jackson Resenje. He's now 7.1 seconds behind, and the thing is we can't see respective lap times for these two because looks like they have been slightly disallowed by the iRacing server. As soon as you get an off track, it disallows your lap time. So at the moment, Valero has the fastest lap in his pocket with a 1:28.5, but Resenje now starting to pull away from Villarreal. I mean, the good thing is that with this particular feeder series here, Marco, we've seen the likes of Linus Lindqvist, Oliver Askew make their way through up towards the road to Indy. Askew also made it in with SP McLaren Arrow. Then, unfortunately, his IndyCar career came to an abrupt halt. Then, you know, after this, you've got what is now known as Indy NXT, which sort of has a little bit of a WWE connotation about it. I'm not really sure Triple H would be rather happy with that one if he finds out that IndyCar have nicked an acronym that that WWE still uses to this very day. But there is your race leader, Valero, pulling out a gap of now 7.8 seconds as they go on to what will be lap number 4 out of 12. And another fastest lap, so Valero looking to get a maximum haul of 19 points, which are, well, $19, which will put him a little bit further up in the free tier rankings.
You are opening a very, very dangerous door there, because I'm a massive wrestling fan. So if we start talking about that, the race will go in, in the background, and we will not talk about it again. So I will stay clear of the wrestling, but I will tell you something interesting. The magic of iRacing, of course, that like a month ago I was doing an official iRacing IndyCar race at Kansas Speedway. And in my racing server there was Oliver Askew racing against me, and we actually battled side by side for a few laps. So It's incredible when you race in iRacing and any given night. At the same time, one of my very, very close friends was racing in an official F3 race with Will Power and Kimi Antonelli, which is an up-and-coming driver here in Europe for maybe people from abroad that don't know that. So on any given day, you can jump in a race and meet real-life drivers and race against them, which is something absolutely incredible.
Yeah, Kimi Antonelli, one of the brightest Italian talents. I remember seeing that young man, who now is part of the Mercedes Junior program in his own right, is also running in GT3s, if I'm very much mistaken, as well as single-seaters. I think he's been racing in Formula Regional European Championship by Frica, which is the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine, which this weekend is racing at the Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya in Spain. So good luck, Kimi. Have a good one out there. I still remember when he was running in the CIK FIA karting championships. He is a karting champion in his own right, both as a junior and a senior. And I think he's one of the brightest Italian talents that we've got at the moment, that could really showcase a good future talent in maybe even Formula One. Oh, no! Valero is off the circuit. What on earth happened there? I think he might have just hit the loud pedal a bit too hard. And this is going to give Jackson Asenge the opportunity to get up the inside, and he does, but Valero back on pace straight away. Well, who'd have thought of that one, Marco? An uncharacteristic mistake from Gael Valero, and Asenge was there waiting to pounce and nearly got him, but he's right up the rear wing. Looking to the outside, he's going to get the inside run. Is Asenge going to be late on the brakes? Looks to be the case, and he's just got through on the Frenchman. That is something we don't see every day from Gael Valero, an uncharacteristic mistake.
I think he went a bit too wide in the exit of the shortcut, and the bottom of his car hit a big curb there on the outside. And now, given iRacing tire model is incredibly sensitive to temperature changes on the tire carcass, so for the next 2 laps, basically Valero will be running on ice. He will try to go for the inside, but see, doesn't risk the move because the car is he is struggling so much driving that car right now. I feel his pain. He has to wait 1-2 laps to get the situation back in control, and then maybe he can go for it again.
Yeah, so we are on lap number 6 out of 12. We're about 30% of the way through the lap. We're getting a little bit of nice telemetry from the onboard here with Gael Valero as they're running down into the short right-hand hairpin, late on the brakes again. This is the shortcut part, so they're not using Dunlop, they're not using the Michael Schumacher S's I would see on the traditional GP circuit loop. And Asenge is probably thinking, oh, right, I've got an opportunity here. And he saw that Valero was around, nearly took the opportunity first time asking, but he didn't need a he got a second invitation, and he took it with full gusto.
Absolutely, when there, he was very, very smart, Asenge, because he didn't super issue immediately. He waited just a couple of corners. He knew that Valero was struggling with his tires, but now he needs to be careful because those tires, now in iRacing, the model is so sensitive that Valero's tires will never be 100% again. Temperature-wise, they take forever to recover, but they're getting better and better, and now we'll go for the move.
Yep, up towards Yokohama they go. Valero up the inside of the Asenge. Asenge trying to keep it pinned around the outside, but Valero's got the undercut nice and neatly done there as they go through the Mercedes AMG arena. Through turns 2, now into the next left-hander here at 3, before the right-hander here at 4, where it's very, very tight to the barriers. A lot of curb being used there by Asenge. He's fancying his chances, both staying a long way away from the wall on the inside of that right-hander at turn 4. But Asenge, no, he's still got an opportunity in this race to close that gap again. And hopefully he can do that on pace rather than Valero making an uncharacteristic mistake.
Yeah, Valero was dominant on Monday in this current track combination, but he made a big mistake in the race with the Formula V cars at Hockenheim, where he was leading big, just like that. that time he wasn't so lucky because he had 3 or 4 drivers chasing him. And now we will see the replay. And I think if you look closely at the replay, when the car leaves the shortcut, he will bounce on the curb there. The car was not properly set, I think, when he pushed the gas pedal down, and that was all she wrote for him. Not all she wrote, because he was able to continue, but he was so lucky because he stopped his car centimeters from the barrier on the right.
Yeah, and that could have actually ended his race. So Gael Valero is counting his lucky stars right about now. We're a quarter of the way through lap 8 out of 12, and the gap has started to extend between Gael Valero and Jackson Versenje. Chin of about 0.8 of a second as they come out of the Mercedes arena. They run a little bit wide coming out of turn number 4 on the run down to this shortcut, and Valero swings the car wide, turns it in onto the apex. He's got to try and just keep it nice and tight. That's a little bit better. And as we were looking on that replay again, Marco, because he went up the curb, there was a little bit of instability because the suspension's trying to keep the car level. When you boot the loud pedal coming out of said corner, it just spun him around, and he was very, very lucky. Gael Valero getting a little bit animated there on that particular occasion, as we've just seen on the screen in the bottom right-hand corner, folks. And again, you can just see from how concentrated he is, but also the amount of movement on the steering wheel, because these USF2000s aren't that easy to drive.
No, these junior formulas are designed to, challenge the drivers, because they need to basically the cream needs to rise to the top in these junior formulas, and so it's not uncommon to have cars that I wouldn't say they try to make you uncomfortable, but still they make you think about what you're doing, and especially with this car, and of course the step above, which is the Pro Mazda, or that's available in iRacing as well, a bit more powerful. Now, honestly, I love the ladder that they have there in the US, especially because it really puts the drivers in different kind of racetracks. These cars are designed to do a little bit of oval racing as well, mainly short ovals, of course, because anything longer than a mile, I think, will be draft fest with these cars. So the you were talking about earlier, I think it's, if not identical, very similar to the ones that are used around here for F4. As a matter of fact, as I was seeing on Monday, you can you can drive the F4 car in iRacing as well. It is not officially the F4 car because of rights, but it has been modeled after an FIA F4 car, so you can jump between the two of them and see the difference. Of course, the engine is different, both in this one and the PM18, the step above the ladder. But it's nice because you can try the differences between the two cars and see for yourself which one you like the most.
Yeah, because the Formula V that's coming up for the next race for Tier 1 will be just slicks, no wings. There's a discussion going on in the YouTube chat about what is Valero listening to whilst he's racing. We've had metal, like we've had heavy metal. K-pop has even been announced as well on that front. So I'm sure there might be a couple of memes showing up on Instagram stories with Mr. Valero's face being shown whilst being vocally animated, but he's now extended his gap to about 3/4 of what it was before he had that massive spin through the shortcut here. It's lovely to hear these 2-litre inline 4-cylinder engines just claw their way down through into Advan, pushing over 210 kilometers an hour. That's 130 miles an hour. People might wonder how I know how to convert that, considering the top speed of my own particular car is 210 kph, which is 130 miles an hour. And that has actually been done legally on the German Autobahn, not too far away from the Nurburgring. But onto what will be our penultimate lap. Rapid Casting's just gone saying he's obviously listening to Pen Pineapple Apple Pen. Oh dearie me, I was wondering when someone was going to bring that one up again. which is I think went viral when it first got released. So yeah, but you can see the speeds that are being done by the drivers. Villarreal was pushing over 140 miles an hour, 221 kph. So that'll have been the indicated fastest top speed that the Uruguayan will have achieved. But you know, Valero is now just calmly just getting the car to the checkered. He's got the fastest lap in his pocket anyway, Marco, so he's looking good for that $19 prize pool at the end of this race.
Absolutely, he's recovered from his mistake. The tires are getting better and better. As I was saying, they will never be as 100%, but of course they will improve, and he was able to create once again a significant gap. We saw from the onboard cameras of Valero looking back at Hasenji earlier after the overtake was made that the Brazilian driver was slipping and sliding all over the lap, so he was pushing hard trying to keep his USF2000 behind Valero, but he wasn't able to do so. But the white flag comes out, so for the Brazilian it was a valiant effort and just one more lap to bring home what is in the end a very valuable second position.
So let's see if we can catch up with our race leader, who is now making his way through into the Mercedes arena for the final time, as Diego Villarreal will start his final lap of the race down in third position. There is our race leader through the left, tight on the apex, and tight on the apex through turn 4, runs the car a little bit wide as he goes past the Mercedes AMG grandstand on the left-hand side. Again, keeps the car wide to the outside, turns into the shortcut nice and cleanly, and there's a little bit of an undulating bump there which can sometimes unsettle these single-seater cars. Through to the top part of the circuit he goes once again, into the right, and now the fastest part on the circuit. He'll build the speed, exit out of that corner at third gear, probably north of 140 kilometers an hour. It's the 2-litre 4-cylinder engine, fires its way through Advan and into the chicane for what is going to be the final time. Through what is now known as the over the curbs as well, through both curbs, getting all four wheels airborne into the Hyundai N-curver, and it's a race victory. Race 24 of the free tier and a total maximum score of $19 heads to the way of Gael Valero, who now spins the car backwards. And let's see, well, he's going to be easily enough able to do some donuts in that one. Jackson Desenje, oh well.
Oh no.
Gael was about to light up the rear tyres, and Desenje decided otherwise. Villarreal we're just waiting for at the moment. He's just going to come across the line now and takes the checkered, but free tier is 24 winner. It is France's Gael Valero that takes the checkered ahead of everybody else, winning by 6.1 seconds. There we go, lights up the rear tyres for us, Gael. Well, he did for a brief moment, but that concludes race 24 of the free tier here at, as I don't know what Jackson Desenje is trying to do. Is he trying to do a J-turn or something? I'm not 100% sure, but it's just, well, that car's rolling back. But there we go. That's it for the racing action here on free tier, race 24. A total of $19 heads to Gael Valero. Jackson Desenje will also pick up $10. Diego Villarreal, despite finishing third, will also pick up, I think, around $8 for his efforts here on this first race of the day. So, yep, still waiting for Jackson Desenje. Returns to garage. But you know what? We had a really, really interesting race on that particular occasion, Marco. Gael Valero nearly binning it into the barriers and almost taking himself out of the race completely, but still had the presence of mind to keep that car out of the barriers. Desenje got him done and dusted, in the latter part of that lap, but then Valero just got past him, easy as pie, and won by 6 seconds.
And I can't stress enough how difficult it is in iRacing to not only recover from a spin, but also a spin like that with, sending your tire temperatures through the roof. And, that this for Valero was the easy bit, I think, since on Monday we saw what happened. He dominated this race. Hockenheim, I was saying earlier with the Formula V, is different story, especially the short B configuration with that trouble, calamity corner at the S with the massive curve there as well. We've seen plenty of crashes there on Monday, mistakes especially. So I can't wait for the next one coming in around half an hour.
Yep, so we go from the free tier to tier 1, race 12 of the season, and it's going to be Formula V. So no wings. There are going to be slick tyres, and it is going to be single-seater action. It's going to be a 10-minute qualifying session, 12-lap race. Big thank you, as always, to our partners here at AMX Global. We're powered by Upbit. We have to say a big thank you to BenQ and Automatics. Don't forget, hit us up on social media. Hopefully all of the links will be coming down below as I mention it, and there they are: Instagram, Twitter. So if you haven't already followed us on Twitter, hit the love heart. Do us a favour. It might mean something small to you, but to us it means something very, very big. The same with YouTube. If you haven't liked, shared or subscribed, have you been sitting under a rock for the past 23 race days or 24? Well, get on board, get on the AMX Global train. Also head to amxrace.com to sign up for any of the races over the course of Beta Season 2. We're giving away over $16,000 in total prize money. So no matter your skill set, come and join the fun. Come and join us at amxrace.com. Maybe myself, Marco, Brad, Reed, and maybe Chan Wei Han. We might be talking about you. So myself and Marco, we're going to have a little bit of a break. A big thank you to the broadcast crew. We're going to see you in about half an hour's time when Tier 1, Race 12, Hockenheim Formula V gets underway. See you in a few moments, folks.
Safeguard your eyes smartly and easily with an eye care monitor and eye care U software. Working on a paper? Turn on low blue light mode. Is the sun too bright? Let brightness intelligence do its work. Now better. Writing code gets your eyes tired? Try coding mode. Forget the time. Light reminder lets you know. Totally immersed in the movie? Minimize software won't distract you. Break reminder and force break help manage your screen time. When it's almost time, a countdown starts. Force break activates to rest your eyes. Eye care you. Safeguard your eyes. Safeguard your eyes smartly and easily with an eye care monitor and eye care U software. Working on a paper? Turn on low blue light mode. Is the sun too bright? Let brightness intelligence do its work. Now better. Writing code gets your eyes tired? Try coding mode. Forget the time. Light reminder lets you know. Totally immersed in the movie? Minimize software won't distract you. Break reminder and force break help manage your screen time. When it's almost time, a countdown starts. Force break activates to rest your eyes. Eye care you. Safeguard your eyes. Safeguard your eyes smartly and easily with an eye care monitor and Eye Care U software. Working on a paper? Turn on low blue light mode. Is the sun too bright? Let brightness intelligence do its work. Now better. Writing code gets your eyes tired? Try coding mode. Forget the time. Light reminder lets you know. Totally immersed in the movie? Minimize software won't distract you. Break reminder and force break help manage your screen time. When it's almost time, a countdown starts. Force break activates to rest your eyes. Eye Care U. Safeguard your eyes. Safeguard your eyes smartly and easily with an Eye Care monitor and Eye Care U software. Working on a paper? Turn on low blue light mode. Is the sun too bright? Let brightness intelligence do its work. Now better. Writing code gets your eyes tired? Try coding mode. Forget the time. Light reminder lets you know. Totally immersed in the movie? Minimize software won't distract you. Break reminder and force break help manage your screen time. When it's almost time, a countdown starts. Force break activates to rest your eyes. Eye Care U. Safeguard your eyes. Safeguard your eyes smartly and easily with an eye care monitor and eye care U software. Working on a paper? Turn on low blue light mode. Is the sun too bright? Let brightness intelligence do its work. Now better. Writing code gets your eyes tired? Try coding mode. Forget the time. Light reminder lets you know. Totally immersed in the movie? Minimize software won't distract you. Break reminder and force break help manage your screen time. When it's almost time, a countdown starts. Force break activates to rest your eyes. Eye care you. Safeguard your eyes. Safeguard your eyes smartly and easily with an eye care monitor and eye care U software. Working on a paper? Turn on low blue light mode. Is the sun too bright? Let brightness intelligence do its work. Now better. Writing code gets your eyes tired? Try coding mode. Forget the time. Light reminder lets you know. Totally immersed in the movie? Minimize software won't distract you. Break reminder and force break help manage your screen time. When it's almost time, a countdown starts. Force break activates to rest your eyes. Eye care you. Safeguard your eyes. Safeguard your eyes smartly and easily with an eye care monitor and eye care U software. Working on a paper? Turn on low blue light mode. Is the sun too bright? Let brightness intelligence do its work. Now better. Writing code gets your eyes tired? Try coding mode. Forget the time. Light reminder lets you know. Totally immersed in the movie? Minimize software won't distract you. Break reminder and force break help manage your screen time. When it's almost time, a countdown starts. Force break activates to rest your eyes. Eye care you. Safeguard your eyes. Safeguard your eyes smartly and easily with an eye care monitor and eye care U software. Working on a paper? Turn on low blue light mode. Is the sun too bright? Let brightness intelligence do its work. Now better. Writing code gets your eyes tired? Try coding mode. Forget the time. Light reminder lets you know. Totally immersed in the movie? Minimize software won't distract you. Break reminder and force break help manage your screen time. When it's almost time, a countdown starts. Force break activates to rest your eyes. Eye care you. Safeguard your eyes. Safeguard your eyes smartly and easily with an eye care monitor and eye care U software. Working on a paper? Turn on low blue light mode. Is the sun too bright? Let brightness intelligence do its work. Now better. Writing code gets your eyes tired? Try coding mode. Forget the time. Light reminder lets you know. Totally immersed in the movie? Minimize software won't distract you. Break reminder and force break help manage your screen time. When it's almost time, a countdown starts. Force break activates to rest your eyes. Eye care you. Safeguard your eyes. Safeguard your eyes smartly and easily with an eye care monitor and eye care U software. Working on a paper? Turn on low blue light mode. Is the sun too bright? Let brightness intelligence do its work. Now better. Writing code gets your eyes tired? Try coding mode. Forget the time. Light reminder lets you know. Totally immersed in the movie? Minimize software won't distract you. Break reminder and force break help manage your screen time. When it's almost time, a countdown starts. Force break activates to rest your eyes. Eye care you. Safeguard your eyes.
Well, after a brief hiatus, we're back here on AMX Global. My name's Alex. Joining me is Marco. We're here for Tier 1, race number 12 of Beta Season 2. And as Marco alluded to earlier on in the broadcast, well, we're going to the iconic Formula V, which runs in multiple different championships across the world, based on the 1963 Volkswagen Beetle. So it's got a bit of rear-engined, rear-axle festivities about it. The Beetle is an iconic car in both the automotive and also the motorsport heritage side of things, especially with Volkswagen. But then we go back to Hockenheim. As you said, Marco, it's a repeat, it's a reverse of what we had on Monday this week. And we still do have 3 drivers that are going to be competing in this one. More prize money up for grabs. But Formula V, I mean, we were having a brief chat before the broadcast that iRacing decided to encapsulate the global feel of Formula V. I mean, when you look at it, Australia, Brazil, Canada, Germany, the UK have Formula V as part of the 750 Motor Club. They're trying to bring it all into like one big sort of melting pot, aren't they, with the Formula V cars here on iRacing?
And an open-wheeler rookie car in iRacing was sorely needed, and it was introduced just a few months ago, and it took iRacing by storm. It's a free car. It races in a rookie series, so all on free tracks. So if you want to jump in with your basic iRacing subscription and try the car, it's there. And I love that iRacing are now prepared like a ladder, even for the European style open wheelers. You can go from the Formula B to the Formula Ford, which is beautiful, of course, and free as well, and then move your way up to F4, F3, Formula 3.5, and F1. And the Lara IR01, the fantasy open wheeler for iRacing, is having his World Championship back next year.
Yes, indeed. And there is the prize allocation. So $134 prize pool per race for Tier 1, 22 races, so 10 away from concluding that particular tier on this second beta season here. Don't forget to head to amxrace.com if you are of any skill level, any tier, any race, any time. Join us on amxrace.com. Got an I rating, no matter how small or high it might be. We're here to provide you with not an opportunity to race, not an opportunity to be broadcasted, but also to earn some dollars. Coming to the end of day 24 out of 45 here on AMX Global League Beta Season 2. May 20th will see us hit 20 days towards the end of this second season, and that will provide some scintillating action in its own right. We are here in Hockenheim in the Baden-Württemberg region. So the points are up, as are the prize money. 25 points equals $25 US for the race winner, 10 points for the fastest lap, and also participation for every single driver gets 1 point, and that's $1 US. However, if you don't finish within 80% of the winner's time, you are classed as a non-finisher, thereby no points, unfortunately. So we go all the way down to 20th position for this particular tier. It's $5 per race entry fee, and at the moment it is Caio Gaspar that leads the way. But Gael Valero has already picked up 1 win here today, the free tier race number 24, the USF2000s at the Nurburgring Sprintstrecke. We're going to be running at the Hockenheim short B variation, so there are multiple different layouts on the configuration that is normally in full length, 4.574 kilometers. Then we've got Gaston Colharvey, Corentin Guignez, 1 point away from the top 3. Diego Villarreal, who's back again, the non-qualifying specialist, as we like to call him here at AMX Global. He's 5th ahead of Josh Berwin, Victor Miranda, Jackson Asenje, Kiyun Park, and Adrian Claros. Unfortunately, has yet to score any points, no dollars, but we have got in place of Jackson Asenje, I know it's probably way past his bedtime at the moment, Gaston Colharvey has decided to join us along with Caio Valero and Diego Villarreal, who rejoin for this race. Once again, it's a 10-minute qualifying session, 12-lap race. So this is 2.6 kilometers, and it uses quite a few of the iconic corners, but also uses the double right-hander. Anyone might remember when Nico Hülkenberg ran off the circuit and went into the barriers whilst in P2 in 2018. That was the year that Sebastian Vettel, if I remember correctly, went off at the Schwitzkehrer and said the words, "Oh God, muss das sein?" or "Oh God, why does it have to be this way?" 2.6 kilometers, 620 meters above sea level. It's one of the most historic circuits in the world, is the Hockenheimring. It's seen multiple finales for the Deutsche Tourenwagen Masters, aka ETM, which we now all know is run by the ADAC, which is the ASN for Germany. But also the good thing is we have got some variation on this particular circuit. And here is the car in question, the Formula V. Now, for those wondering, those historians around motorsport, just have a little listen to some of the names on the international stage have raced in these cars. Keke Rosberg, Nelson Piquet, Emerson Fittipaldi, and the late great three-time Formula One world champion, Niki Lauda. You also had the likes of Scott Dixon, six-time IndyCar champ. He raced Formula V's in Europe and also in New Zealand. V8 supercar drivers such as Larry Perkins, John Blanchard, Colin Bond, Jason Bargwanna, John Bowe and Paul Stockel were also racers in Formula V. So it's an air-cooled engine. It's a 1.3 litre engine in these Formula V cars. And you can see, folks, there's a little bit of a groove on the tyre. They are running on grooved tyres. So it's air-cooled, basic suspension and braking systems. It's about smiles for miles. It's a very manoeuvrable bit of kit, this car. But also, if you get it wrong, you have seen it here on AMX Global, Marco, where things do go south very, very quickly in a Formula V when you get it all wrong.
Yes, and a very weird gearbox. Basically, 4 speeds, and first and second gear are mostly just used to get the car off the line. You rarely go below third gear, but sometimes you forget about it and you go down in second gear, and the engine will let you know about it. And as I was saying on mod as well, you have this nice indication of when the drivers are switching gears, especially when they go up the gears, but also when they go down. A big puff of smoke coming from the back of these cars, which the first time I commented at a race with these cars a few months ago, I thought, well, is I racing modeling random failures, because I kept seeing this car putting smoke, and then I said, oh no, it's the gear shift. So yeah, it's always interesting to see, very, very fun also. And we are looking at the times for practice with Valero, Culavi and Villarreal. Of course, Culavi, one of the protagonists of that race on Monday. Close quarter action is to be expected with these cars. The qualifying times on Monday were absolutely neck and neck, and I'm expecting more of the same around here today.
I don't know what else I'm expecting here, Marco. The fact that Diego Villarreal will be he'll be taking more opportunity this time, not of the Nurburgring's hospitality, but Hockenheim's hospitality. Just under half a tenth separating Gael Valero and Diego Villarreal. There is the number 3 of Coolharvey himself going across the line, because we're actually into qualifying now. A minute and a half of 10 minutes has been completed, going through into first corner, and very different format. So there's no use of the parabolica, and you're going to see the speeds are a little bit slower than what we had in the USF2000. So he's north of about 80-90 miles an hour in these cars, considering the fact that there's not much horsepower being developed by these 1303cc rear-mounted engines, but the steering wheel very much in the vein of a Formula car. The top part of the steering wheel has been cut off, but you've got a flat-bottom steering wheel just to give the drivers a little bit of room to virtually stretch their legs. Harvey's gone, and he's gone through into Sachs-Curve, and he's lost the back end. Well held. Luckily enough, that car did not go backwards into the barriers there, because that would have been a straightaway return to garage.
It's massively important with this car, and one of the things that I really like about these new additions to the iRacing rookie ladder, the Formula V and the Formula Ford in the build that came out just a few months back, that they teach you some very important concepts of driving a race car. And with this car, conservation of momentum is paramount to have a good lap. You don't have a lot of speed. The way the gearbox works, as I was saying, with basically only third and fourth gear being used, you really need to carry all the momentum you can into the corners if you want to get a fast lap. When you move up the ladder to the Formula Ford, you learn how to, because Formula 1 is much faster, but doesn't have a lot of, doesn't have any kind of aero downforce, given that it has no wings, just like this one. You learn how to basically turn the car with your feet, which is a very underrated skill to have, in my opinion. So I love how you can then, from then, move up into Formula 4, Formula 3, and the rest of the ladder. But these corners here, especially in the Motodrome, are really complicated with this car, because again, you don't have any kind of downforce, and you really need to keep the car moving forward without going too slow, because the moment you start slowing down too much, you lose control of the car and it will spin around. And we were talking about it earlier, Alex. These junior cars, these smaller cars, are almost by design made in a way that will put the driver on the spot to try to see who are the faster guys and that deserve to move forward.
Yep, Gaston Coulthard already putting in the fastest lap of qualifying so far, as we're fast approaching halfway point, 1 minute 15.84 in. Hang on a second, Diego Villarreal, are you coming out during qualifying? That's going to be a first for a very, very long time. Everyone's screaming for donuts in the YouTube chat, but Virtuosine is also one of those. Valero goes quicker by just over 6/10. And Villarreal is just sitting there at the end of the pit lane exit. Oh, and he's on an outlap. Hooray! The trend has finally been broken. But is he going to set a lap time in qualifying, folks? That's the question we want to ask you. More than anything. I'm going to hedge a bet here, Marco. Diego Villarreal, will he complete a qualifying lap? I'm going to put you on the spot here, my friend. Yes or no?
I believe that yes, he's looking very, very confident in his outlap. He's outlapping with a purpose, and so also there is a bit of a friendly challenge, because Gaston Coulthard, of course, is his teammate. Oh dear, keep it, bravo. He is his teammate, even though they are. The overlay, Coulthard is shown as a privateer, but they are both sporting the beautiful Sud America Racing Team livery, SART, there it is. And so I think that he wants to do better than his teammate, but we shall see.
Yeah, yes. And Virtuosine is saying, I just want donuts. You've been on... You've watched many of our broadcasts, and you know that donuts normally happen after the winner celebrates. As Villarreal now starts his first lap in qualifying, for the first time in a long old time. Gaston Coulthard nearly had a Code Brown moment going through the mid part of the circuit on the approach into Saxkurve. And Just Keith is also saying, donut, just do it. Hold your horses, folks. You're going to have to wait for these donuts to come. Might happen after qualifying if the server doesn't get cut short. There we are with Diego Villarreal. At the moment, Valero still has the pole position, but there is... Now, that is Coulthard, who's sitting stationary. Currently 0.64 of a second behind. And don't worry, AMX Global. I know TJ's behind the socials at the minute on the respective YouTube, Twitch and Discord servers that are populating the bottom right-hand corners. Diego Villarreal is getting towards the latter part of the circuit. Has just come out of Saxkurve and heading into the double right. And we'll see what lap time he puts in. Diego Villarreal in the number 22 is about, well, that is Gael Valero about to cross the line. He's improved in sector 2. And what's his lap time on this occasion? Is it going to be an improvement? Not quite. Well, he has 1 minute 15.208. Is Diego Villarreal, and he puts in a lap time of a 1:15.2. Well, it showed a 1:15.2, but I think that might have been disallowed due to track limits. He's now on his second lap in qualifying, so Diego Villarreal is already...
no, continue! No, I mean,
no.
I morally won the bet because he tried to do a lap. He went deep into the motordrome, went to the gravel, the lap got invalidated, but he completed a lap. It just, wasn't a valid lap. So we'll have to go on, on appeal on that bet, in my opinion, because he tried,
It's a sportsman's bet, so it doesn't really matter. We're not going to go on to the VAR if we're talking about football. But yeah, still, Villarreal did actually complete a lap in qualifying. I didn't say whether he had to set a lap time, so you effectively said yes, so you've won. And I was thinking, are we going to see it? I was sort of like on the fence. But yeah, finally, folks, Diego Villarreal has made an appearance in qualifying in Beta Season 2. Not set a lap time, but the more important thing is he has done a lap in qualifying. So he's still going to start in third. It doesn't matter. He's broken the habit of a lifetime right now as we ride on board with Gael Valero, who is Gaston Coulharvey has been stuck at that point of the circuit all the way through the session. So I'm not too sure if Gaston Coulharvey has had any problem from a technical or software, well, from a software or a hardware problem, because that car is still stationary. It's the last 40 seconds of qualifying, and Valero's done more than enough to Virtusina saying, is your VW broken? Oh, and Valero does exactly what he did in qualifying in the previous race. Yeah, that car's just idling. So the time is counting down, 20 seconds on the clock remaining, and he is not moving as Coulharvey, is he?
Yeah, he's not moving, and he's giving us a good look at his two drivers, Coulharvey and Villarreal, slightly different liveries, but teammates. Coulharvey looking a bit more like maybe a mid-90s Benetton color scheme with the two tonalities of blue, of course, and the white, while Villarreal adding some neon yellow to the mix, but still for SART, and the checkered flag is waving, Alex, on this qualifying session. We haven't seen any mistake there in the chicane, the right-left, I should say. That really was calamity corner on Monday, so let's see, maybe during the race when you push hard, there is a big curve that you want to cut as much as possible, but if you cut too much, and with these cars we've seen how finicky they are in qualifying, you are going to spin 9 times out of 10. So that would be a corner to keep an eye on when the race begins in just a few seconds.
So Gael Valero takes a second successive pole position on race day 24 here at AMX Global with Formula V at the short B variation of the Hockenheimring here in the Baden-Württemberg region of Germany. Circuit I visited myself personally a couple of times, as Gaston Coulharvey is still stationary, but Valero takes the top time, 1 minute 15.208. Gaston Coulharvey 1 minute 15.849, and folks, yes, it happened. Diego Villarreal, the Uruguayan, made it around a circuit for a lap in qualifying. Didn't post a time, but good on you, Diego, for giving something for us to cheer about here on race day 24. So we're going to bring up the results very, very short. So, yeah, I mean, the funny thing is, Marco, Valero again putting it on pole position, and what's more, the fact that he managed to spin out on his final push lap just goes to show he's not hanging about.
No, and as I was saying, maybe some nightmares from the previous race he had around here on Monday, where really was so much faster than the opposition, but he made 2 or 3 big mistakes that cost him the win in the end. And again, goes to show that this is not a easy combination. It's a low power car on a short track, but that doesn't make it simple. As you can see, the qualifying results there with Gael Valero, as I was saying, in pole position in front of Gaston Coulharvey, who had a weird quali session, 1 lap and then he parked the car, and Diego Villarreal, who had 1 lap but didn't count, so he will start in third as the green begins populating, and we shall see, because the moment all 3 cars will grid up, it will be the moment to go green for this second and final race of the day here at AMXRace.com.
So, all 3 cars on the grid, 12 laps of just over 2.7 kilometers, Valero just checking the steering on the car, so it's turning left nicely there, Gael. Green flag waves in the air and the revs rise. Wheel spin from both Coolharvey and Villarreal as it's the run down to Alstakurva. First turn, it's a 90 right. You've got to get the curbing very, very well populated. And as they make their way down through the shortcuts, and Diego Villarreal starting to close in on Gaston Coolharvey. Now into the next right-hander they go. And again, just both, you know, all three cars just making it through. Villarreal looks to be a little bit more purposeful, as you said, during his lapping qualification, despite not setting a time. He's keeping within 4/10 of Coolharvey. And, oh, there's a little bit of smoke puffing from the back of Villarreal. That was probably more than likely the exhaust. Puffing out a bit too much CO2s from the back of it. These are old school engines, based on the 1963 Volkswagen Beetle. And Valero already, as they go into Sachs-Curva here, Marco, stretched a gap over Coolharvey to the tune of about a second and a half.
Looking good for Valero, but we've seen he's not immune to mistakes, and this will be 12 laps of high intensity for him, because you're really fighting the car and the track. In a situation like this, there is not a lot of comfort you can have. As the first lap goes in the books, a puff of smoke all around the front stretch for the three drivers. Valero from Coolharvey and Villarreal, your top three.
Yep, as Villarreal puts in a 1:23.43. Gaston Coolharvey was the second quicker on that previous lap. Valero with the 1 minute 20.79. That is another fastest lap of the race. A total of $36 US could be winging its way to Gael Valero's pocket, but we're halfway through lap number 2 out of 12 at this famed circuit, using multiple shortcuts, not going through the Spitzkehre and through the full variation of the Parabolica, which really does allow itself to provide great, especially like say in the USF2000s, if we had that at the full Hockenheimring circuit, it would be a very, very different proposition altogether. But Coolharvey trying to close in that gap to Valero. It has dipped just like, well, it dipped just under 1.5 second bracket. We have seen Valero and Coolharvey side by side at previous points in races, especially with Lime Rock Park and TCRs, where Gaston Coolharvey was one of the only drivers that actually, as Coolharvey now puts in the fastest lap, 1:15.496 for the Argentinian. And Coolharvey, just like yourself, loves a bit of Audi TCR action, Marco.
Absolutely, and it's you know, front-wheel drive cars are the best in my opinion. So the more the merrier. When it's of course commentary and driving, we see Coolharvey going over this curve. You can see how much they try to cut there, and I'm shocked that nobody has had a problem so far, because on Monday there was like a oil spill there in that corner. Maybe because of that, these guys have learned from their experience, and they are going a little bit more carefully around there. Gap 1.6, maintaining between Valero and Coolharvey, but you know, that fastest lap of the race was an encouraging sign from the Argentinian. But let's see if Valero can answer straight back, because those are some valuable points and therefore valuable dollars.
Yep, across the line to complete lap number 3. Lap times between the two, just waiting for the timers to just adjust. And Valero's got at the fastest lap. He was over 2/10 quicker than Gaston Coolharvey, who runs the car very, very wide coming out of Alstakurva into the right-hander here at turn 2. Again, Coolharvey just bouncing the right-hand side over the curbing. Valero's just keeping it nice and calm and composed with the driving style. Just picking the racing line that he feels works with his driving style and also with the vehicle that he's piloting at the moment. Coolharvey, going through that part of the circuit, was actually looking a little bit closer as well. They're bumping over that curve quite significantly. And a lot more, I think, was taken by Gaston Coolharvey. And that gap's gone down. That gap's down to 1.1 seconds. So Valero is coming under fire, and Coolharvey is right with him. Coolharvey has got a real run of speed, and that is a big chunk of time. That gap has been halved by Gaston Coulthard. Valero just trying to keep it pinned, going through the final double right-hander. So we have got a race on our hands. Real is going to be happy just to pick up third position. And there is Coulthard. Lap times coming across the line. Valero 1 minute 16.44. Coulthard was the second quicker, 1 minute 15.367. So the race is on for the lead as we are on to lap 5 out of 12.
See there, Gael Valero, member of the Coca-Cola racing family, apparently, given the clever product placement right next to his head. That bottle of Coke, of course, being very empty, so maybe he needs a new one. But he's now trying to answer back with the fastest first sector of the race. I didn't see any mistake there from the Frenchman. Maybe just had a bit of a slowdown or something along the way, because he didn't, on this track, if you make a mistake, despite being a modern track, if you make a mistake, you notice it on the cameras, because there is not a lot of paved runoff, especially around this version around here. You have paved runoff in turn 1, and basically that is that. So possibly a slowdown, cutting too much of that right-left corner there in the middle of the track. Now looking to extend this gap once again. He is, doing it, but not so much. Let's see on the start-finish line. After that record sector 1, it's not a record lap, but he gains around 0.3 of a second over the Argentinian driver. So far it's Valero from Coulthard, and Villarreal, who's enjoying a nice day at the office. He's basically guaranteed 2 third-place finishes, and so he's sitting there back 12 seconds back.
Okay, we're going to go to a replay right now here on AMX Global, and this is Diego Villarreal going through Sachs cover, runs very, very wide, and loses the back end to the right-hand side, locks up the brakes, code brown there for the 22, and tries to rejoin, lights up the rear tyres, and it pitches itself the rear end to the left-hand side. Interestingly enough, Gael Valero's previous lap time was a 1:15.01. However, it has not been recorded as the fastest lap. So you know what's come into play? Track limits. So at the moment, Valero still holds the fastest lap of the race, 1 minute 15.171. Coulthard is about 1.4 seconds behind. But now Valero breaks into the 1:14s for the first time. 1 minute 14.991. I mean, how close can you be to breaking the 1 minute 15 barrier at this 2.7 kilometre circuit? Bit of a lock up there from Valero going into that second quarter, going into the right-hander at turn 2. He might lose a little bit of gap if he's not careful, because you and I both know here, Marco, that with these Formula Vs, the braking system is not archaic, but it is old school tech, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely, and goes back to the concept of testing the young drivers, putting them on the spot. Absolutely, you can really be betrayed by this, and of course, we are racing with a fixed setup around here, which is also the same setup. The Formula Ford, which is the next step in the racing ladder, has both a fixed series and an open setup series. But the Formula V only has fixed setup series, and I know there is not a lot you can touch on the setup to begin with, but still there is no modifications you can do in this car. So what you get is what you get. So by the way, this week the official series for the Formula V is racing around Lime Rock Park Classic, and if I'm not mistaken, there is a promotion on the racing website tied with the Nurburgring 24 hours for a big discount code for your first 3 months in racing. So if you want to jump in, and then of course jump in our races here at AMX Global, you can get that, and if anything, you can experience the Formula Ford and the Formula V among other rookie cars that race on all free content racetracks. So you can have a full 3 months of racing and really see if you like it. I'm sure you will like it, because sim racing is awesome. And again, as I was saying, amxrace.com there at the bottom of the screen to join and maybe have some fun with us.
Yeah, I think also the fact Formula V in the United Kingdom is also racing this weekend. I'm just going to check the official race event calendar for the website. And, yep, 750 Motor Club Car Championships at Brands Hatch Indy will be racing. And just trying to check to see what is on there. The event timetable does show that the Martins Group Formula V Championship is racing. So Formula V happening not just in the United States, but also in the United Kingdom this weekend. Quite poignant we've got it on here today on AMX Global. But in the meantime, we're on to lap number 9 out of 12. Valero has stretched his advantage over Gaston Coulthard to just north of 2.2 seconds. Oh, that was a cut of the curve if ever I saw it there from Valero. As he now heads into the infield section, going through the right-hander. Now into the next left, which will be the Zagskurve, which has seen quite a few incidents, not just in single-seaters, but also in touring cars over the years, especially with the DTM Classic, amongst others. This complex here is where you can really carry the momentum through after Zagskurve through the left-right chicane, and then the double right-hander. Massive curve that Valero's using coming out of the final right-hander here at this circuit. Now up into 4th gear. His lap time on that particular occasion, 1 minute 15.238. Gap between him and Gaston Coulthard now stretching to just north of 2.6 seconds, with Diego Villarreal a further 18.5 seconds adrift in 3rd place. Again, just seeing how cool and calm that steering input as we ride on board with Gaio Valero here, Marco, is just smooth, it's effortless. He knows exactly which racing lines to pick.
Yes, when you jump into sim racing for the first time, I know I had in the past, you might think that you need to drive like you are a madman, but when you join an iRacing session, you get some like tidbits, some pearls of wisdom, and that change every time you join a race. And one of them is my favorite one, is by Alain Prost, which said, when I look fast, in reality I'm going slow, and when I look slow, in reality I'm going fast. It refers to the fact that when he's driving like 1,000 inputs, looking all over the place at the edge of control and of grip, he's actually going very slow. But when you have your inputs, your braking points, your car is looking smooth and doesn't have many changes, and is quite stable, actually you are maximizing your speed and your lap times. And this is exactly the concept that you learn once you start getting more and more into racing, and it becomes almost like the satisfaction of nailing your lap after lap, which is what makes these drivers so fast and so amazing, is that they can consistently hit a target lap time for the entirety of the race. Is almost, I would say, even more exciting sometimes than making a nice overtake, because when you feel like you are at one with the car and the track, the moment there when you realize that, yes, I am at 100% of my capabilities, and I'm really nailing these lap times, lap after lap.
Yeah, we're on to our penultimate lap out of 12. Lap 11 is 75% of the way through, courtesy of race leader, and the man due to pick up 2 race victories on the bounce after tier race 24 and now in tier 1. Race 12, Gaio Valero nearly has a 3.5 second advantage over Gaston Coulthard from Argentina. Continue to ride on board with the lucky Uruguayan Diego Villarreal. White flag in the air here at the Hockenheimring. The short B variation, just over 2.7 kilometers. As we see Gaston Coulthard coming through turn 1 for the final time, and then into the tight right-hander here at turn 2, which then goes back into a left-hander very shortly. But Coulthard has tried to do his utmost. He nearly got the jump on Valero early doors, but Valero has been the tour de force here today as the 2 leaders make their way through into the next part of the circuit, so into what was effectively Mobile 1, before heading into the iconic Zagskurve at the circuit that would normally be 4.574 kilometers in length. And great to hear a very different engine note from these 1303cc air-cooled engines. Valero is just double right-hander away from picking up a maximum score. Fastest lap of the race, a participation points, and 25. Coming round the final corner, it's 2 for 2 here on race day number 24 for Francis Gael Valero from the Apex Racing team. Does the business once again, crosses the line, and has the fastest lap. So on top of the $19 he secured in race 24 from the free tier, he picks up 36 in this one. Are we going to see some... I'm just waiting to see if he's going to try and do some donuts, and that smile on the face says, well, he's doing a burnout. We've got a burnout here in Formula V. Lovely. And Gaston Coolharvey is obliging with the donuts as well. That's awesome.
Great end. That's a great end to the race, yes. And I like that not only they are doing the burnouts, but also there is smoke coming from the engine if you look closely. So it's like, double the fun for the price of one celebration, which is quite amazing. Look at that smoke there. Absolutely fantastic show from Valero and Coolharvey. And here on your screen in a second, the race results.
Yep, Gael Valero picks up 2 race victories as he continues to do the burnout, aka the 11s down the circuit. He's going to keep that going for as long as humanly possible, and boy, is it a joy to watch. He picks up 2 race victories and picks up what will be $54 in total over the past 2 races, and now he starts with the donuts. Good lad, Gael. Yeah. That's just what we like to see. Gaston Coolharvey takes second position with it, takes 20 points, thereby $20 plus also a participation point as well. Diego Villarreal rounding out the top 3. That concludes race day action as we leave the Hockenheimring here in the Baden-Württemberg region of Germany. You know what? 2 races. Okay, we've had 3 drivers in each. There's opportunities for you folks out there to get yourselves involved. And yes, Virtuosine, you got donuts, you even got a burnout as well. So there we go. We saved the best for last. Don't forget, you can head to amxrace.com for further information. There is still another 21 race days to go till we hit day 45. 90 races in total, over $16,000 in prize money. We've got the 2 times multiplier for the free tier all the way through the month of May until we go to May 30th. But you know what? We've got a few more things to say. We've got to say a big thank you to everyone that's been interacting with us all the way through on Twitch and on YouTube. A big thank you to Automatics. A big thank you to BenQ for their continued support. Big thank you to Upbit, who power every single stream that we do here on AMX Global. But folks, race day 25. How about this for a combination? GTEs at Bathurst, Mount Panorama. And then that'll be free tier race number 25. Tier 2 returns with race 13. Phoenix is the battleground, and it's the NASCAR Next Gen Cup cars. Don't forget, hit us up on socials. Give us a follow on Twitch. Subscribe to us on YouTube. We're also on TikTok. Head to amxrace.com, our official website. Maybe we'll see you on a race day very, very soon. On behalf of myself, Alex and Marco, and the broadcast team over in Korea, thank you so much for watching. It's been an absolute pleasure. And a few of us will see you next time on race day 25. Until then, thanks for watching. It's goodbye for now.